Are we a nation of laws? I mean, sure, we have a legislature and every other political subdivision that writes law, but is it lawful? Is it constitutional? Is it in accordance with that oath that they all swear to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and the laws of Idaho, or the Constitution of Idaho and the state statutes, even though they're conflicting with the two ideals? I always hear people say, we need more cops, we need more sheriffs, and if necessary, we need to pay them more. Well, my question then becomes, with the ginormous size of government that we're already having difficulty funding, it's pretty easy for us to be able to proclaim that we're going to go ahead and we have this need to be able to spend more tax dollars that we already don't have to be able to fund something that we really don't need. There was a discussion this morning about the sheriffs and police and how we need them and how we need to pay them more and all of that. And my basic question was, as far as I understand it, when I start looking at the role of the sheriff and the role of the police and all of that, what really is interesting is that, and I'm commonly known for talking about constitutional things, about, why was the Constitution created? Why was the Bill of Rights created? Why was law created? What's the point of this law? And all of those things. And about how they fit and how law actually is supposed to look, not the way it actually looks today. And I think that we can all agree that law today doesn't even resemble anything related to what it was supposed to be. So then we have the liberty folks, they sit there and they talk about, the Constitution and they talk about all that. And then they talk about the fact that we need more cops. Well, and because they're talking about gun control and the safety of the kids and all of that. So I had a thought. So let's say that we have a law enforcement agency. Just pick one, doesn't matter. Are they allowed to act lawless in order to enforce the law in the name of the law? Or are they operating completely in the color of law? And does the average citizen understand that the term color of law is actually a term that is used to define an act that is done lawlessly? So we say that we need more SROs to be able to protect our kids. And I thought, okay, well, let's consider that for a moment. I'm actually looking at, or I was looking at earlier, I was looking at a document that actually says something about the police not protecting and serving because it's not their job. Let me see if I can find it. So here it is. So here's the thing to consider. So we want our kids to be safe, right? Well, let's not focus on the root of the issue, which is the demoralization of this country and the rest of it. Well, let's look at what it says. We've got what makes the city's position particularly difficult to understand is that in conformity with the dictates of law, Linda did not carry a weapon for self-defense. This is by rather bitter irony. She was required to rely on the protection of the city of New York, which now denies its all responsibility to her. Law enforcement agencies and personnel have no duty to protect individuals for criminal acts of others. Instead, their duty is to preserve the peace and arrest lawbreakers for the protection of the general public. So if this is true, what it basically states, and this is from the Supreme Court, today we believe that the Supreme Court is our own Politburo, whatever they speak is law, and now they can write law, which is kind of lawless in itself. So everything we try to do is, everything we try to do to maintain law and order actually does quite the opposite and creates chaos, because we take ourselves away from the original point of all of this stuff. So here we have the Supreme Court, which are the gods of our government now, and they have set a ruling down upon the states that the states say, oh my gosh, the Supreme Court has spoken. They've said that law enforcement's duty is not to protect and serve. So where did the idea of the fact that the cops go around touting the fact that they protect and serve come from? And when they say that, are they not committing fraud upon the people by stating the fact that that their job is to protect and serve? So here we have a government in these United States where we have everybody and the legislature writing a law through the Administrative Procedures Act, which means that the school district can somehow write a law that somehow is punishable by law by a law enforcement officer that's operating in the color of law. So I guess what I wanted to say is, we're all worried about the schools, and we want to protect our kids, and should the teachers carry firearms? The teachers should and can carry firearms because they have yet to have committed a crime with a firearm. You see, I'm a firm believer in understanding law and being consistent in it as well as I can with what I know. But it seems to me in this country that our rights are preserved unless somehow we violate others. In other words, we have the right of self-defense. We have the right to be able to defend our neighbor, and we should take appropriate action when necessary to do that, since now we have the understanding that law enforcement's job is not to protect and serve. Law enforcement's job is not to protect and serve. I don't know if I should say that again for people that really aren't getting this, but if their job is not to protect and serve, then this should call into question, and this, in my view, should be the first and foremost question that we need to ask anyone, and make sure that it's brought home. If law enforcement's job is not to protect and serve, then why is government so adamant about disarming the citizens when we know that the right to bear arms was not only to be able to fight off tyranny of government, ironically, but to be able to defend our homes? A man's home is his castle, right? Or is a man's home now the state's castle that we're renting? So these are just some of the thoughts I had about being lawless in the name of the law. The only thing I'm asking for really is to be able to be consistent in law, to be able to have it applied properly, not operating in the color of law, not allowing every particular subdivision to be able to write law, not to be able to tell teachers they can't carry guns in school because they very well may have already been because of the fact that they can carry concealed anyway. There's no problem with somebody carrying concealed with a permit or without a permit, as far as I'm concerned. It's the government's ability to be able to try to control and disarm its citizens. And this is all part of the State Department's plan from 1961 called Freedom from War and how to disarm America. So basically, guys, if I am in error in any way, please let me know. Other than that, take some of the information that I have and share it, and see if we can gain some traction, because that's what I'm here for, is just to learn and to help educate others on what I know. So you guys have a great Saturday. I'm off to do honeydews, and I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.